Good morning. I'm so excited about this video. For a while I've been wanting to test my old favorites, maybe products I used 2 years ago, and there's so many products that I remember I truly loved, and sorry. But because I'm testing constantly new products all the time, I just haven't used these so much. Some products are still in my daily routine, but many of these have been quite kind of forgotten. So let's get into it. The first thing again is some moisturizing spray. I used to always use the Smashbox primer water. This is something I use both as a primer but also as a setting spray because it is so hydrating. The next step is my T-zone and mainly my nose area, and again I have cat hair. I used to love this pore perfecting primer potion from Urban Decay. It's been a while since I used this because I'm constantly testing new primers. My main kind of skin problem is my pores and my nose. So I just kind of forgot this one. This is not a pore filling primer. It has a little bit of thickness, but it more kind of just smooths and mainly controls the oiliness for me. Oh my, I just realized I've been wondering what these dark spots are in my nose. They have been there for a while, but now that I've been out in the sun for a while, I can see that I have few more hyperpigmentations here in my nose. As you can see, I have quite few already, so that's not a surprise. I always use primer, the sunscreen, at least 30, usually 50, and recently I've been using this new one from Nivea. This has SPF 50, and this is their new soothing sensitive line, so it's good for sensitive skin and easily irritated skin. The product I'm most excited about actually is the foundation. I'm going to use this Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup, and I only used this one. I have used so many of these. This is quite thick formula. Okay, that's what's the end of it. It's kind of thick formula, so it's not runny at all. The shade match is perfect for me, and it has quite emollient texture. It reminds a lot of Korean BB creams. The texture and the finish as well. And I used to mix it with this instant illuminator from Lumene. This is kind of, it's not highlighter drops, it's not that glowy, but it just gives that luminosity to your skin. You can use it as a primer or on top of your foundation. I mix these on my plate, even though there is luminosity in the foundation as well, but that's just something I love to do. Usually I actually did it, so now I remember that I use this mix all over on my this part of face, and then only the foundation on my nose because I don't want any extra luminosity to my nose. And the brush I used is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. This was my most used foundation brush. As you can see, it has, I would say, medium coverage, maybe high medium coverage, and it does feel like kind of like a moisture cream-like, skincare-like. I can't speak today. Well, it feels moisturizing. I love the finish. It is fresh. It's not very dewy. It's more kind of like satin finish on my skin. I now remember why I love this, and I think I'm going to take this foundation back to my daily routines. As per usual, there is this not sticking to my nose problem going on, and next to my nose I have quite a lot of redness, which I always conceal with this double wear concealer from Estee Lauder. It's just this formula is so long lasting. Then my under eye concealer, this is a classic as well. This is the Maybelline Fit Me. There is a little bit left in this one. I have the shade 15, and this used to be the only concealer I used for years, probably. And I did apply it to my eyelids as well as a eyeshadow primer. I think this one. it looks so good. Why I ever stopped using these products? Oh my goodness, oh my. It took me a while to remember which powder I did use because I just forgot, but I did use quite a lot of this Innisfree No-sebum mineral powder, especially to my nose area. I always use a lot of powder to my nose. I kind of bake my nose. And this is something I use to my eyelids as well. During these years I found this brand Flormar, Pretty by Flormar. This is a very affordable line, but it's not available in every country. But this baked powder in shade Light Porcelain Pink 003, it's very finely milled baked powder, and there is a little bit of sheen in it. It reminds me actually of the Hourglass powders, believe me or not. There is not as much sheen in it, but the finish is really similar. And back in the days I did use much more powder than I do nowadays. So I did fully powder my under eye area, and then I also used the powder pretty much, but I use this baked powder, so there is not actually that much powder in my brush now that I... At this stage of my makeup I always want to do my brows because I look so flat. The products I used most, as you can see from this tiny pencil which is left, is the brow pencil from Bobbi Brown, and this is a shade gray, and this is most perfect shade for me. I have used so many of these pencils. Okay, brows are on. Then to the face, I used to wear this palette nearly every day since I bought it, especially the bronzer and the highlighter. I'm going to use different blush today, which is the one I used most back in the days, but let's do some bronzing. I have my Wet n Wild brush, which I use for bronzer. It's a bit yellow. Oops. I wouldn't wear this anymore. I've never been much of a bronzer girl, so back few years ago I kind of didn't know what kind of bronzer shade is good for me, and this to me now it looks a bit too kind of yellow, or I don't know, not so good. I have other bronzers which I love more, but this highlighter is something I still use. I have this Wet n Wild brush, and this highlighter is so beautiful. I really like this one, and actually the other Too Faced highlighter I bought at the same time with this palette is the heart shaped. I don't remember what the name is. I have the pink shade of it. These both are quite natural, subtle highlighters, so nothing crazy. I never highlight my nose, it's big enough already, so. And I do apply highlighter usually before my blush. The blush that I used basically every day during those days is the Fratboy from the Balm. And this is still one of my favorite blushes. It's such a great shade for fair-skinned to light skin tones. I think it might be quite brightening also for medium skin tones. It is quite powdery, but it's so easy to blend, and there is usually I end up doing like this, that I feel like okay, now there is enough powder blush, and then I do my rest of my makeup and realize I need more blush, so we'll see what happens. So here is the face, then to the eyes, and two of my most used eyeshadow palettes for everyday makeup came from Tarte, and this is the Sex Kitten, which is quite similar to the Man-Eater palette, which I think is still sold. This is very cool toned, which is why I loved this. But this is the one I think I used more, and this is the Don't Quit Your Daydream palette. It has beautiful, these are my most used shades ever. I first take, this is a matte shade, Rock On. And there's a little bit of creasing in my eyes already. Take this shade, this Love, as we would say in Finland. Next one, I'll take this kind of rusty shade, Runaway, and deepen this look a little bit. And then a little bit of this darkest shade, Work, I don't know how to pronounce this, just to the outer corner a little bit. This is not a palette that you would get a very bold looks. This is definitely kind of... Then my absolute favorite shade is this peachy golden tone Strive. This is just... I have this similar shade in so many palettes, but I just love this. It's so beautiful. Then I'll take this middle shade Visionary. It's kind of creamy. There is a little bit of sheen, and I put it to the inner corner. Then on my under eye area, I'll take again the rusty shade Runaway. And then a little bit of this beautiful golden shimmery shade, Boss Lady. I think I might be the only person in the universe not liking golden shades. But this is the look I used to do, so I applied a little bit of that golden shade to the lower part, inner corner in my eyes. I think now you can see a bit better this look. So this is kind of rusty, peachy, golden eyeshadow look. Eyeliner, the products I still use mostly daily is eyeliner pencil. This is from H&M. I just love these pencils, and I don't want that kind of too strong or too sharp look on my everyday life. So this kind of soft pencil look is what I prefer. If I had this kind of colorful eye makeup, I didn't use lipstick, or if I wanted to use bold lipstick like bright red or orange or something, then I just did a very nude eye with very cool tone basic colors. So something I used to wear with this look is the Too Faced peach, sweet peach, creamy peach oil lip gloss, which I really like, and again I have forgotten to use this. And then final step, as I mentioned, I use this primer water as a setting spray as well, just to give a little bit more moisture, because there is much more powder now than I usually nowadays wear. So here we are. This is my go-to look 2 years back. It's if you've been following me in Instagram, for example, during those days, you have seen these products presented so many times, and I know why. I remember why. I really need to. I do have a backup of this foundation. This was the last finishing part I could use. This is now done, so I have a backup, and I think I have to start using this again because it's so beautiful on skin. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me comments of your old favorites back in the days, and I challenge you to go and test those products again, because there might be some great favorites that you have just forgotten to use and you end up loving again. But please, if you have any requests, send me a message in a comment section, or you can contact me on Instagram as well. I will always prioritize your requests first in my filming schedule, so I will be happy to get those and test the products you want, or the techniques, or any kind of videos you want. But now, enough of rumbles and bumbles. I hope you have a great day, and see you next time. Bye bye.